What's up, everybody? Jonathan Pizza here with my buddy Mike Bambrick. We're here today at Highland Park, KTM World. Sitting behind me is MX1. This is Motor Bros. Hey everybody, welcome back to another exciting episode here at the channel. We are going to continue following up in our series of shootouts. We've got the vaunted KTM 350 SXF, and now we're going to pit it against the CRF250RX. Again, trying to determine how this bike versus this bike and how they stack up as for a guy just getting back into the sport again. We're going to go out here, we're going to both test and review these bikes. We look forward to seeing you guys at the end of the show to give you our thoughts and conclusions. Just got done having an exciting afternoon of riding the Honda CRF250RX and of course the KTM 350 SXF. And Mike and I have both ridden these bikes. The reviews are kind of mixed, so let me break it down for you. We've been riding this 350 now for the last 2 months. We love this bike. There's no question we have an affinity for this bike. But putting it in perspective with respect to someone that's coming back into the sport, how does it fare? Is this maybe something, the CRF that is, a little bit more milder for someone getting back in the sport? And here's how I'll break this down for you. If you're totally new, just getting into it, back into it, this might be okay to start out with because it's not going to be intimidating power down low. It's not going to be where you crack the throttle and it's going to jump out from it. Now on top end, the CRF is a screamer. There's no question about it. It is a screamer, it powers all up there, but that could be a little nerve-wracking to someone just getting back into the sport again. So, but this down low, it's tame. It's not gonna rip your arms out. It's very tame, it's very, very modest. So it might be good for you for that. And it's very smooth. I will give this. There is no vibration. It feels almost to no vibration on this bike compared to even the KTM, which doesn't have a lot to begin with, but there's just something very smooth about this bike. Shifting is very smooth. The vibrations pretty much aren't even there. And I think that's because it's just a bigger, heavier bike than even the KTM. KTM got a little bit more jump to it, but I think if you can work your way and kind of understand it and back build into the KTM, it might be the better all-around bike ultimately. But if you're just intimidated by some power, you might want to go with the Honda, take a look at it. But that's how these two bikes would stack up compared to each other in terms of power and delivery. The last bit I just want to talk about is ergonomics and handling. The Honda feels wider than the KTM. It takes more to turn it than the KTM, and that's just all about the geometry and the differences. I mean, we got two totally different types of frames, an aluminum to the Honda and a chromoly steel frame to the KTM. So that's different, but if you're just getting back into it and you're not looking to go rip some turns, this is a good bike. It's like riding kind of like a couch. It's like riding like a slender red couch is the way I would put riding the Honda as opposed to the KTM. So all in all, I mean, it's a good bike, but it may not be the right bike. But I think if you're coming back in, this may be a good start point. And that's where I'm gonna leave it. So let's hear from Mike and see what he thinks about the KTM versus the Honda in our shootout that we've had here today.
I do. I'm Mike from Motor Bros. Just got done doing the shootout. my first time on a Honda CRF250RX. Great bike. Definitely feels a bit heavy, tough in the turns. The power is there, not quite as much as the KTM. The KTM, that power is everywhere on the throttle. It's so fantastic. Coming out of turns, going off jumps, just getting that control. It's a lighter bike than the Honda. I felt a little sluggish on the Honda, not as much control as I had on the KTM. And that's what I really loved about the KTM, was that light frame, that power right there wherever I needed it, where I kind of struggled a little bit with a Honda. But again, it's a great bike. If you're just getting back in the sport, like Jonathan said, this could be a good option, but it may not be everything that you need. I think with the KTM, you know, since that power is always there, if you just kind of master the throttle, this is going to be a great bike that you could really grow into and have for a long time. It'd be a forever bike for me if I was going to go with the KTM. So between the two, definitely recommended the KTM. Honda, again, great bike, great company. The motor's fantastic. Overall, I can't really put it down, but just not out of the two, the one I would pick. So there we go. Thank you for checking out Motor Bros, and we'll catch you next time.
That was a great review from Mike that we just had, and I hope his review and my review were helpful in trying to figure out what bike you might be interested in getting back into the sport. We had an exciting day out here. Great weather as always here at the KTM Highland Park. Come out and join us. We had a lot of people come and check on us today and support us, and that was awesome. So if you see us out here at KTM World, you see the logo, stop by and talk to us. Might even get a free sticker. Thanks for watching. Hit like, subscribe.
Hit the clutch, shift the gear now, full throttle.